2025 for the Reno Sparks real estate market was a year of correction and really understanding of where things were going to go in the future. And I think it has really set the pace for real estate for 2026 for a really great market. I'm Garrett Stewart, and let's take a look and see why I think that's going to happen and where we're going for 2026. Let's take a look. Well, to start off, here on prices, $586,000 is how we ended the year. Now, this is a bit down for year over year for compared to December of 2024. So we did go down year over year, but I think we're going to be set up for a stronger market for 2026. Like I said, we were really setting expectations and kind of readjusting and realigning our real estate market. I think of 2025 as almost like the great reset button for us. So let's get into that. Well, first of all, take a look at the median days to contract on that, and you can see that homes were selling faster in December of this year, or of 2025, versus December of 2024. So we went from 51 days previous year to 40 days to contract. So homes were selling a little bit faster, which is great news. So for those sellers out there that maybe stuck through it, maybe a little bit of a softer, slower time, hey, homes are moving a little bit quicker, and a lot of that might be because of inventory, which we'll get into too. Now, taking a look at where they've adjusted depending on all the different areas, you can see here, biggest change, 1.5 million and above. It did jump up quite a bit from 88 days to 163. So bigger jump there. Everything else pretty much stayed roughly the same, a few days different. Some of them went down actually. That 600 to 750 went from 44 days to 41 days. So a lot of them did go down, with the 750,000 to a million went from 56 days to 70 days. Now let's see, I hinted at the inventory. Look at that inventory line going downward. That's the darker gray bar going downward. 682 listings on the market in Reno and Sparks. Now looking at the new listings, we see that new listings did drop. It was December. A lot of interesting stuff happening for December because you've got the holidays, you've got colder weather. You see the market kind of slow down quite a bit. Multiple sellers, hey, let's take our home off the market for the holidays, different things like that. Not as many buyers, but we did see that go down. We also saw we saw the sold listings go up. So we went from 299 sold listings to 376. So we saw a bit of a resurgence there, which is good news for those looking out there. Now let's dig in a little bit more on that inventory. So I said 682. Look at where look at that peak that we went up there and compare that all the way back in the last over a year now. This is the lowest it's been in over a year. So we've definitely seen the price or the inventory drop down a lot more, kind of straining that market a little bit. So there's a lot less options out there. So if you are a seller thinking about putting your home on the market for 2026, I would list sooner than later. And I think this is presenting a strong opportunity for you. So let's chat if you are thinking about listing here in 2026. What price range, what options are there in the different price ranges out there, and what changed? Well, you can see that from November, the darker gray versus the lighter or white color is December, and you can see that pretty much all of them dropped. So looking through all the different price ranges, we see some decent drops in inventory. Taking a look at the month supply of inventory, this is the lower the number, the more favorable towards sellers, and you can see it went more favorable towards the sellers by the end of the year. So it dropped from 2.8 to 1.8. So we lost an entire month's worth of inventory in just a month's period. So again, a little bit more favorable for those sellers out there. Now, again, one thing I do want to preface is this isn't going to probably be a 2020, 2021 real estate market. Again, it's not going to go boom crazy. We're going to be able to list over asking, multiple offers, appraisal waivers, all of that crazy stuff. We're not going to likely see that, but we're seeing some more demand out there with interest rates starting to soften a bit. We're getting into the low 6s, people getting into the low 5%. mortgage or into the 5% mortgage rates by buying their interest rate down and potentially even lower. So definitely connect on that too. Buyers, there's good opportunity to get some better rates for you. Now let's take a look at the whole 2025. So now that we've finished out the year, where did we line up in terms of new listings that came on the market? And you can see that we are still lower than the COVID and pre-COVID times, but you can see that we went up again from the previous year. So 2023 was our lowest for new listings, quite that drop there. And then we've been slowly going back up. So we did see more listings come on the market. We still need to see more, but I think if we see interest rates continue to drop a little bit more, we might even see a bit more demand. And I think more sellers might be more open to doing that as well. Now, I think most important is closed sales. So this is how many homes closed in all of 2025. Almost 4,500 homes. So, we saw almost 200 more homes sell in 2025 than 2024. So good news is we are slowly building that back from where we were. So definitely good news out there. It was kind of that, this is the reset year for us. So 2026 looking good. We saw pending sales drop a little bit to from 347 to 278. Now what does that tell us? Less buyers in December shopping around and securing the home. While this is more than last year though of 260. So we saw a little bit stronger demand from this year or from 2025 in December versus the 2024 year of December. Let's go into the hyperlocal market, specifically Reno. And you can see the median sales price actually went up month over month and year over year. So while the year over year was down for Reno Sparks as a whole, just looking at Reno is actually up. So we are getting close to that $700,000 price range there, and not quite there. We'll see. That might be something we hit here in 2026. But inventory down quite a bit for month over month. That's normal, and even year over year. So less inventory here in the Reno area. Heading to Sparks, you can see that the year over year median sales price went down there. So when we say that the median price went down for Reno Sparks, a lot of that came from actually Sparks. But look at that median sold price per square foot. That is actually up year over year. So kind of interesting where that is there. So that might mean that we're seeing different size homes selling at different price points. So that can change the size of the home. Statistically, the smaller the home, the higher price per square foot it is. So we might have saw smaller homes, higher price per square foot, but because it's smaller size, might not be as high of a median sales price. But definitely some interesting stuff there. We did see inventory drop quite a bit. Heading to Carson City, big drop year over year there, almost 12%. I don't think that is as a market as a whole. And if you are curious about the Carson City market and want a little bit more detail, I have some more thoughts on that. I don't want to stretch out the video too long, but it definitely fluctuates. When you only have 36 sales for December, a couple of stragglers are really going to change those numbers. So even though we use median instead of average for these prices, it can still fluctuate a bit more. But look at the year over year price per square foot, only 1% change down. Heading to Fernley, you can see prices are up there, back over $400,000. We're at $405,000. We saw inventory drop down down 23% year over year, but the sales are up 41 sales in Fernley. So we had more sales in Fernley than Carson City. Kind of interesting. Down to Minden, Gardnerville area, $674,000, 48 sales for December out there. And active inventory, we're at 126 homes out there, just slightly down. So definitely interesting market going on in all these more sub-markets. To close this out, we're gonna end in Reno and Sparks, but at Condos and Townhomes. $345,000 for median price home, condo or townhome here in Reno and Sparks. That's down 10% year over year. And inventory is down quite a bit year over year as well. So again, there's a lot less out there. So if you are thinking of putting your home on the market, Inventory in most of these markets are down year over year. So if you are wanting to take advantage, we have seen more sales coming up. So if you want to take advantage, now's the time to take advantage of this. So let's get together, let's set an appointment, grab coffee, I can meet with you, whatever, and we can talk through what that looks like for 2026. Now's the time to be planning for that, whether you're looking in the spring, summer, fall 2026. Now's the time to connect and let's create that strategy together. I'm Garrett Stewart. I'll see you next time.